I have a couple of things to say about the RE4 remake that was shown off at the Resident Evil showcase, which I actually did like better than the Silent Hill showcase. The reason was they actually did the RE4 great. Um, so so um so apparently I'm gonna explain in case because spoilers. So yeah, so apparently what happens in the trailer and everything, and what happens and whatever. Apparently, I basically was excited to see the merchant back again. But even though he has a different voice, I don't think I mind that. As long as the merchant is in it, I'm okay with. Because he still looks like the merchant. Um, so another thing is, so usually when you see a dog trapped in a bear trap, well, it's dead in the remake. Unfortunately, you can't really help the dog in the remake, so it's kind of like a little reference to the original, because you usually would see that, and also having the chainsaw guy back, um, that is awesome considering. And also another thing is they actually, even though they changed Ashley's outfit, she actually is a bit more defensive now, because when she was holding a candle holder, I was like, oh my god, she's trying to hit Leon. Wow. And then when she later on actually had a gun in her hand, I was like, damn, Ashley, wow, you're defending yourself. Good for you. So, I also saw the escort thing with Ashley. It doesn't look like she screams at this point. She doesn't look like she screams at all, which is good. So it looks like she definitely defends herself. So good for Capcom. Well, good for Dev One to actually make it better. So I definitely see the game already being better than the original. So good for that. The other thing I want to point out is the I forget his name, but he just looks like a Napoleon, or whatever. Now the bad point of it is I think he just looks too old. I think. He just looks like somebody that went to court and became a judge. He just looks like that, or somebody that was in the Victorian age, and was actually part of um, again, part of the law, but like part of the jury. You know what I mean? Somebody again with a wig on. um, so yeah. So that is a bit weird with him without his hat on. But his voice is okay. To be honest, I think I'll take it anyway. As a villain. So, um, just as long as the game's good, I'm okay with it. So there is a crouch mechanic, which I'm also glad about. You also have like defense statures, be able to defend back against enemies and whatever. The enemies are a bit smarter, which is also good, because it makes them a bit more intelligent, and such. Um, Now, you actually can change their outfit, just like the original, which is also a nod to Dev 1 for doing that. So that means you'll be able to change their outfit and such. Now, I do think at some point maybe they'll add the night outfit at some point. Maybe they actually will. Maybe be able to like choose what outfits each character wears. I think out of the two, which again would be awesome. Considering. really, really awesome. Um, okay, so um, Ada we might see more of, because she definitely seems to be in the trailer. So there might be more of her, especially more with the merchant as well, because he might have a bit more of a story as well. Because that's what I've heard about the merchant. He might actually have a bit more story than he did in the original. Because in the original, he was just more of just there, as a merchant, and such. But in the remake, he might actually end up meeting somebody. That's what I'm thinking. Which would be a nod to Village in a way. Um, yeah. So the other things is, um, you have the big guy, which is called the cheese. The big cheese. He's back. But he's wearing a hat. Unfortunately, kind of like similar to what Mr. X had, but except a bit wider. So knowing me, I'd probably try and shoot the hat off. Him, I think. Which would be hilarious. Most of all. So apparently they've kept Leon getting infected. So I'm okay with that as well. Because, he's not the only one that's been infected before. Remember Rebecca's actually been infected before, but in like a movie though. So at least it actually nods to like Leon getting infected again. Because he actually gets infected in the remake. Same as the original. So big nod to that one. For doing that. And also having the big giant troll thing. I'm actually glad they put that in. Because he looks great, to be honest. So that's a nut up, and also basically having Salazar as well, the boss, which could be a really good nut for a boss fight. Since because I know Dev want a true for their word usually, so I also reckon they will be like DLC to like Ada and such. Now, I do reckon there will be like some talks with between Ada and Wesker probably. Is it not? Now, um, now the thing is, do most think it could be a different voice to Wesker, or could it be the same Wesker? Nobody knows. Nobody really knows if it's DC Douglas's Wesker or it's another Wesker. I mean, at this point, nobody really knows which Wesker it is, so we'd have to wait and see, I guess, to see which one it is. Um, so yeah, so I definitely think this is a good way to actually get the story moving and such. I mean, you got like the castle and so on. You might have like the boat in the remake where you apparently step on it and it goes through like a track or something and it ends up in the other end. So there might actually be a lot in the remake. Like an actual lot. I'm already actually sold for the remake. Because I definitely seeing it being better than the original, so I most likely will actually get it. Because it does look like it seems a bit easier than the original. So I'm 100% on board. For this one, even though I didn't play the original, I intend instead to play the remake. So I'm actually thinking about getting the collector's edition today. By pre-ordering it for like next year. At least then I've got like a bunch of things that come with it, like the Leon figure, the map, a couple of like costumes and such. and like anything else that comes literally with the collector's edition. Yeah, so in a way, I'm 100% on board. Um, I'm like heavily excited, and I know a lot of others are too. Apparently, I know Lamar is heavily excited for that because I did actually watch his video. And he was like jumping. I mean, I was jumping as well when I saw the trailer. I just couldn't stop saying "wow." Yeah. I was actually watching it. While I was in party with Wolf or whatever. We were, but we actually did say "wow" at the same time, which was funny because we were both watching it. Um, and it was awesome. So we just couldn't stop, and then I was actually, telling my sister because she had some doubts about who would be in it and whatever. And I actually explained that the certain characters are actually in it. Because I said Aid is in it, the Merchant's in it, Salazar is in it, and so on. Um, there will probably, and I actually said there could be more story to the Merchant this time round. And such since everyone knows the Merchant does meet the Duke at some point, so he could have a bigger role. And maybe you'd be able to learn how the Merchant moves around. Because I actually had a theory on how the Merchant got around. And I think it was probably hidden passageways or something, or he just rides around in a mine cart or something. Well, something like that, or he has teleportation powers. That's my other theory. I am actually hoping they clear it out in the remake and basically tell how, what type of access actually allows him to move around so quickly, and such. So yeah, so most likely my sister is going to get the RE4 remake as well. So she's definitely gonna play that because she did play the original and she did love the original. So I also apparently back to the price range of what the collector's edition is. The collector's edition for me would be around 200 odd plus or whatever. Like more than 200 quid for the collector's edition. Um, so I would have to pay for that for next year to have it ready. Um, so then, because it comes out in March, I think it is. So most likely I'll be actually getting that game. Deep down, I'll actually stream it and whatever. My reaction and everything. And then see what other people think when I actually play it. So so apparently that's all I've got to say for now. Um, so if you're heavily excited about RE4, then I'd recommend getting the RE4 remake. It seems to be better than the original, so yeah.